Hey, folks. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Just want to jump in here and drop a few comments about what's going on in our society that's really kind of pissing me off. Should be pissing you off too. But I'm going to tell you right up front, we might not make it all the way through this one. They might cut us off because I'm going to drop some comments that's probably going to piss some folks off. First one is this POS. You know, he's like the herpes. When you think he's gone forever, he shows back up. So
the climate deniers are really in some ways similar to all of those almost 400 law enforcement officers in Uvalde, Texas, who were waiting outside an unlocked door.
Yeah, how about that? Think he would play on your emotions a little bit there? Trying to use the murder of children to advance his climate change agenda. That's the same guy that said that Florida would be underwater by 2020. What happened to that? I'm still here. 2 years later, I ain't underwater yet. He's so full of shit, I bet his eyes are brown. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. There's probably a lot of folks out there that believe him. All right, I just had to throw that in there because I saw it just a few minutes ago. I didn't know that he actually said that. I think it was yesterday on Meet the Press or something like that. But I just saw it a few minutes ago. I had to kind of rush the production on that. I had to do some editing and get it in my studio file here. But I want to talk about a couple of other topics. First, I want to thank you guys for being here with us. Appreciate it. Me and Lady Prepper here, you know, just chilling, having a good time. Got my apple juice. Hope you got whatever you like to drink. But, hey, Donna, how's it going? Greg, good to see you in the house. You wasn't here. I don't think you were here last week. Good to see
John Hickman's here. Too.
I'm sorry, what?
John Hickman's here.
Oh, yeah, John's always here. I appreciate John. John and Tammy, you guys are great. I mean, I really appreciate y'all being here with me. John is the man. I'm going to tell you right now, that guy right there and his wife are doing that homestead thing big time, and they're doing it right, and they're set up. They're ready to go. Tammy, appreciate it. You're always here, and I appreciate the support. I really do. But, you know, that first little clip I showed there about Al Gore, he's just, that guy, I mean, I don't know what to think about that guy. Hopefully he'll just go away somewhere one day. It's been proven that, you know, his household is 21 times, has a carbon footprint 21 times that of an average household. So he likes to talk that crap, but he don't like to live it. So, you know, it's just like most elitists that we have nowadays, you know, in this country. And I'm not going to call them leaders. They're not leaders. Don't ever call your congressman, senators, president, whatever. They're not your leader. They're your representative. Don't ever forget that. They work for you. So you need to make sure not to call them leaders. Don't ever do that. But the first thing I wanted to get to tonight was the situation in California with the truckers. A lot of people don't know about this, but on July 1st this year, it was illegal for independent truckers to work in California. Well, that's where two of the biggest ports in this nation are. And we get a lot of food and a lot of commodities through those ports. But now it's illegal for independent truckers to carry anything out of there. And that's ridiculous. I mean, I think last week the truckers actually closed a port in Oakland. Yeah, they closed the port of Oakland. Hopefully they're still there. Hopefully they still got it blocked up. I mean, our supply chain has enough problems already. But for the state of California to tell these guys, no, you can no longer, you know, carry goods across the nation. 70,000 truckers. That's a lot of products, folks. And everybody thinks, you know, this problem with the supply chain's easing up. No, it's not. You're just not hearing about it because They keep pushing other things to the forefront. So you won't be talking about it. You know, a good example of that is, you know, who gives a damn if Ben Affleck and J-Lo got married again? Who gives a damn? People talked about that for 3 days. All this mess going on, who cares? That's the kind of thing they try to keep you talking about. So don't let that happen. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the Ford laying off 8,000 workers so they could build their EVs. A lot of folks hadn't heard about this, but 8,000 workers got their pink slip so they can actually build those electric vehicles that the government's trying to push on you. Guess who got the contract for those? A Chinese company. Yeah, a Chinese company got a contract from Ford to build all the batteries for their electric vehicles. Right there, Detroit Free Press, one of the most liberal rags in America, and they're bragging about it. So, I mean, this stuff's just getting ridiculous as far as how this administration is working to promote Chinese interest. You know, you're going to say, okay, that's a private industry. It's not the government doing it. Well, what happened during the last administration? They cut all that off. If a company canceled jobs in America and carried them overseas, they had to pay a tax on that. Well, guess what else this administration's doing? They're lifting tariffs on Chinese products. Basically, they're saying, okay, take our jobs. We're not going to charge you for that. We can't last like that, folks. We just can't do it. There's not enough American jobs now. But I mean, you see that everybody's trying to hire somebody. That brings up another question. Where in the hell did all the workers go? Are they still getting paid to sit home? I don't know. But something's not right with this economy. When you have jobs going overseas, you have people out of work, you have people trying to find workers, something's not right somewhere with this economy. Hopefully, all this stuff will straighten up soon, but I don't see an end to it. I think this is part of what they've been calling a Great Reset that's been pushed on us for probably a couple of decades now, and they're trying to speed it up and push it. Now it's called Agenda 2030. They want all of this done in the next 8 years. All this environmental friendly corporations, and they want you eating bugs instead of beef. Bill Gates is actually buying a lot of farmland where he can actually, start harvesting insects for people to eat instead of cows. And I don't know who made that guy an expert in this field, but he's obviously got the money to do it. So Linda's in the house. Linda's Prepper Kitchen. Good to see you. Who is this? Barnesworth Chronicles? Fernway Chronicles. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I'm glad you're with us. Appreciate everybody being here. But I mean, I'm here just to kind of pass on the things that you don't hear a lot about in the normal media. And the biggest thing right now, I think, that we've got coming at us is this right here. They call it a recession. They're trying to say we're not in a recession. Okay, the White House is actually trying to convince people that 2 consecutive quarters of losses in our GDP is not a recession. Not anymore, not since they're in power. It's been that way forever. But now they want to tell you, no, it's not what it means anymore. So I don't know. I guess they try to, make everything fit what's going on with them. And once they do that, it's okay. You're going to believe it. You're not smart enough to get out and look these things up yourself. But if you watch the corporate media, you don't see that. You really don't. You don't see a lot of what's actually going on in the world. people just, they blindly follow what they're told, and they don't see what's coming. Guess who does see what's coming? The Chinese. They're selling off, trying to sell off as much of their U.S. bonds as they possibly can, because they know the U.S. economy is going to crash and those bonds are going to be worthless. That's exactly why they're selling them off. They're getting some takers, but not a lot. They can't get rid of them all, but they're trying their best to do that. And if you don't see what's coming, and the Chinese do, half a world away, it's your own damn fault. You better start making arrangements for what's coming. We have an economic crash coming. They're trying to say, well, we're headed into a recession. No, we're in a recession. We're headed for a depression. And it's going to be worse than it was in the 1920s, because there's a lot more people now. And in that lot more people, fewer know how to actually grow food or produce products on their own where they can sell them and buy food. And it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. You need to get ready for it. What's this about? Let me see here. It's a clown show. Yeah, it's a clown show. It sure is. Problem is, a lot of people like the circus. It's a damn shame people don't see what's coming, but it's coming full speed. Linda, I know you've been working hard. I've been watching your videos, Linda. They're on point. You've especially those sausages you canned. I really like that idea. Might have to get Lady Prepper and try that out for me. I love sausages.
You put me to work.
Yeah, stagflation. That's right. You're absolutely right. Stagflation's a problem. Also, shrinkflation. You know what shrinkflation is? Your packages of products that you're buying is getting smaller, but they're charging you more for them at the same time. A lot of people's not watching that. You need to watch that. I'm sure a lot of the things you buy have a lot less product in them than they did 2 years ago. And I know for an absolute fact they cost more. But we just got to stay on top of this stuff, guys. The other thing I really wanted to talk about tonight was this new assault weapons ban that's being pushed through the House right now. It's HR 1808. If you haven't read it, you really need to read it, because there's some things in there that are ridiculous. I'm going to read right from this bill some things that are in there about some weapons they're trying to make illegal. But the summary of this bill, every time they have a bill that goes to the House or the Senate, there's a summary written on it by the people that are sponsoring it. This bill had a 1-sentence summary. And this is it. This bill makes it a crime to knowingly import, sell, manufacture, transfer, or possess a semi-automatic assault weapon or large capacity feeding device. Now we have to ask ourselves, what's a semi-automatic weapon? The term semi-automatic means any repeating firearm that utilizes a portion of its energy of firing the cartridge to extract the fired cartridge and chamber the next round, and requires a separate pull of the trigger to fire each cartridge.
Every gun we own.
That's every semi-automatic you own, from a little 22 caliber 8-round pistol to a 45 semi-automatic. Every one of them. They don't just want your rifles. They want every semi-automatic weapon you have. Our bimbo in chief there He actually called it out back in June of 21, I think it was. No, July of 21. The idea that you need a weapon that can have the ability to fire numerous shots from that weapon, whether it's a 9mm pistol or a rifle, is ridiculous. He don't want just your rifles. He don't want what they call assault rifles. They want all of your guns. That's not a revolver, not a bolt action rifle. That's not a pump action shotgun. They want them all, and they're coming after them. Also, in their definition, it has the definition of a assault weapon as a weapon that has a magazine that is not a fixed magazine and has any one of the following factors. And the first factor on that was, there was 4 of them. The first one was a threaded barrel. Every decent semi-automatic weapon in the world has a threaded barrel. So they're coming after your pistols, guys. Guess what that law doesn't define? What an assault weapon is. They can't do it because it's a made-up term. It's just something to scare people. That's all it is. And they're coming after them, guys. They're coming after them because of bimbos like this.
Very hard to hit a moving target. It is hard for people that are trained to hit a moving target. It is very lucky that
She wants you to
hit that
think
moving
she's an
target
expert.
in that way. And he had a
And
gun
fire
permit,
on.
but he wasn't supposed to be in the mall with a gun. So he broke the law, even though he was a good Samaritan.
See, she's not worried about the guy that went in there to shoot everybody. She's worried about the guy that stopped him from shooting everybody. And she prefaced that by saying, when I was in the Department of Justice, like she's setting herself up to be an expert. She had no idea what she was talking about. Absolutely zero idea what she was talking about. The guy didn't break the law. The guy didn't have a permit. He didn't have to have a permit. You know why? That incident in Indiana happened on July 17th. On July 1st, constitutional carry was legal in the state of Indiana. He didn't have to have a permit. He didn't have a permit. She didn't know that. She had no idea. She don't know the law. She tries to set herself up as an expert. And she's talking about how it's so hard to hit a moving target. No, it's not. She said it was luck. No, it's not. It's training. This guy was trained. He went out and he got him a firearm, and then he got the training he needed to use it. That's what every responsible citizen should do. She said he broke the law by carrying that weapon into that mall. No, he didn't. It wasn't against the law. It was against company policy, the company that owned that mall. Yeah. Yeah, they said they're a gun-free, area. That's not a law. That's a company policy. So she was wrong on that too. I don't know how those bimbos on The View stay on TV. I just don't know. It's crazy. They rack off more bile than probably any program on television. But like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this one. Am I still streaming?
So far.
Hey, Fluffy, how are you? Good to see you in here. Yeah, I'm glad you're here with us. But I mean, you think they're not coming after your guns? Remember how it's against the law for the federal government to keep a registration of gun owners? Well, I'm going to tell you, that's a bunch of crap. Did you hear about this? The ATF shows up at this guy's house because he purchased 2 guns in one day. How did they know that if there's no gun registry? How did they know? How did the federal government know he purchased 2 guns in one day? Yeah, they came in, knocked on his door. There they are right there. That's his Ring camera. That's a federal agent. That's an ATF agent. And right behind him, there's two more, another ATF agent and a state trooper. They come and check this guy out and they want to see his weapons that he bought that day. You think they don't know when you're buying a gun? I'm going to tell you what, folks, I don't harp on a lot of politics, but the Second Amendment is one I will harp on because the Second Amendment protects all the other amendments. If you don't have the ability to protect your right to free speech, to protect your right against illegal searches and seizures, due process, whatever, then we're living under tyranny. That's why they want your guns. They want to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do, when they want to do it. And they don't want you to have the means to defend yourself. It's just starting to piss me off. Honestly, it's starting to piss me off. I really don't want to get upset about a lot of this, but can't help it. Never really been someone that cared a whole lot about the way things are done in politics. But, you know, they're going to push it. They're going to push it to a point where people are just going to get fed up with it. It's like this January 6th crap they keep trying to push on people. It's not doing them a bit of good. People know better, but they keep pushing it. But, hey, I'm just one person. Hopefully enough people will start standing up, speaking up, you know, calling them out. But like I said, I'm just one person, just one old man, lived past my prime. My whole life, all I've done, though, is, you know, professionally is serve the public in one form or another. And I just hate to see stuff like this happening, which brings me to a point, a pretty funny point, actually. I got a comment on one of my videos about how people like me are just wanting attention. No, I don't want attention. I just want to help people. I've done that my whole life. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. Feel sorry for people like that guy that made that comment because he's one of those people that just has to belittle others to make him feel good about himself. But, hey, if he wants to do that, go for it. Hey, I'm a target. Go ahead. Throw them arrows, buddy. Shoot them spears. I'm ready to rock whenever you are. So, all right, I just wanted to come in here and show you a couple of things you might not have saw in the news this week. Or maybe, you know, you weren't sure about that assault weapons ban going through, trying to push through Congress up there right now. I think it'll go through the House of Representatives. They have enough communists in there probably to get it pushed through, but I don't think it'll make it through the Senate. Let's hope not. Call your senators. Call your House of Representatives member. Let them know how you feel about that. I mean, if you support that ban, call them and tell them, hey, I'll support you all the way. If you don't, call them and tell them, no, don't do it. I mean, I'm just giving my opinion here, and that's all I'm giving. I try to speak the truth. I really do. I try to speak the truth every time I come on here. There's not enough of that going on. People don't like the truth anymore. But I'm always going to bring it to you. You might not like what I say, but it's what I believe. And I usually have some evidence to back it up. So if you get into a battle of wits with me, you better be armed with some pretty good ammo. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm pretty sharp. And I talk about the things that matter. And hopefully, you know, it matters to you folks too. That right there. Yeah. They know what guns everybody has.
That's Patty. Where Chronicles is Patty.
Yeah, they know what we all have. That ATF agent showing up at that guy's door is proof of that. I mean, they know what's happening. They know what you got. But if they show up at your door Ask them one thing. You got a warrant? If they don't, tell them get off your property. They're trespassing, or you'll call the police. It's that simple. If they don't have a warrant, they got no business being there. That's what the Fourth Amendment's all about. Unlawful searches and seizures. Hey, what do I know, you know? I was just a cop for most of my life. I don't know much about that. Hey. With that, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to say stay strong, stay patriotic. You might not like what's going on in this country now, but if we don't stand together and stand strong, it'll never change. I'm afraid of what's coming. Hopefully you're ready for it. So pray for this country. And with that, the Orlando Prepper is out.